So hello ladies and gentlemen, and here we go with the big one. This is gonna be pretty interesting because this is not just the best of 5, this is actually a 5-map match. Doesn't matter what the scoreline is, but we'll be keeping track anyway, and this is gonna be PH versus PH. Very excited for this one, especially with our players. Introducing first, the man who has proven to be one of the worthiest contenders for the crown of the PH scene. It is our Red Zerg, Chocobutt, or Daks. So it seems like he's playing on his alt account here, but for all intents and purposes, we'll be calling him the two names, Daks and Chocobutt, throughout this series. Champion of the even-numbered or odd-numbered quarantine tournaments, really proven himself in multiple regional tournaments. All I gotta say here for Mr. Chocobutt or Nux, he really is on the up and up, and a very analytical player to say the least, using his smarts, using his brains, really figure out every little bit of the game as well as his opponents. And something else to take note, he has the actions, he has the movement to go with it hand in hand. But on the other side, one of the El Clásicos of the replay casting, one of the classics in the PH scene, and he is gonna be a little grumpy sometimes, but always a pleasure to have. It is our blue Protoss, eXoDaSh. Whenever I think of eXoDaSh, I just remember Blink Stalkers, and Blink Stalkers. And something to note with the meta right now, it might really favor him if he does go for that style with a Twilight Council, something pretty old school, akin to similar Wings of Liberties in a way. In that case though, here we go now with the hatchery for Mr. Chocobutt. He's gonna be getting the pool pretty much at the same time there as well. Hatchery first opening, getting that macro, getting those 2 bases up and running, and he can go for as much drones as possible. On the other side though, Nexus right now for eXoDaSh, he has those 2 accelerators up and running, and he's gonna be looking to get that second Nexus up also with a 1 gate, 1 core expand. So pretty standard stuff from both sides. It seems like though we are gonna get that gateway Chrono boosted up to get the Adept eXoDaSh playing into, well, those build orders, and all I gotta say is it's finally refreshing to see something a little more standard coming into this one. But as Chocobutt decides, okay, you're gonna be playing that macro game, I'm gonna do one better. That is what the Zerg is all about. Get that third up and running, really be +1 on the base department as much as possible. And well, Mr. Nux is just looking pretty secure in his position. So our first map here, ladies and gentlemen, is Eternal Empire, one of the bigger maps in this pool, and it is an absolute classic. Everyone loves to play Eternal Empire. You can have some really good macro games, and going for that second into the third, really taking care of that high ground before moving into a more defensive or offensive fort, really allows this map to have its own identity in the first place. But on the other side, it's eXoDaSh trying to decide what is the Stargate opening all about, and it will be the Phoenix hunting around these overlords to begin with. Now, the Phoenix is also a good support unit to catch out Queens later on into the fight and into the Knights. But all I really gotta say is, without the Oracle at the very start, it will be less pressure on the drone count here of Mr. Nux. Nux instead has to be careful of those overlords, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him actually go for mass adepts into this one. When you do get the Phoenix, and when you do clean up overlords, and when you do get multiple Phoenix alongside this, having the adepts as well as Phoenix together is just such a good composition to be as slippery as possible. Graviton beams make work of anything lifted up in the first place, and of course the speed of the jet planes as well as those shades, making a key difference in mobility for our Protoss player. Anyway, though, Twilight Council is up and running after the Stargate. Here we go with the forecast as well. And will eXoDaSh actually transition into the Templar Archives very soon? That's gonna be the real question. Would be surprised though to get the Resonating Glaives in a build like this, as Warpgate right now will be going online by a 4.5-minute mark, I believe. Still though, here for Chocobutt's Lair Tech gonna be next on the list. And we got some drones always set up, 33 workers though to 38. eXoDaSh really doing all he can to saturate those 2 bases. But as soon as we have Nux ready in his own army count, I feel like he's going to be very secure to drone up and take the lead. Anyway though, it seems like eXoDaSh is going to be going for that Phoenix play. And is this a bait and switch? Now, when you see more than one Phoenix, you have to be like, okay, will this guy go for Mass Phoenix? Will this guy force me to go for anti-air? And Chocobutt has to either go for more Queens, like he's doing right now, or he can go into Hydra Den to actually add a lot of DPS into the airstraights. But for eXoDaSh playing it cheeky instead, when in doubt, go for the Dark Shrine. And since the Templar Archives activating, of course, Templar Tech in the first place, you can go for the DTs and be as slippery as possible. Something to note though, I do love the Adept here in the front line. Pretty much the standard in any Protoss versus Zerg. eXoDaSh though even setting up the more adepts in behind. And well, with Chocobutt right now going for the creep tumors as well. It's all about creep spread here. It's a macro on both departments, but here comes a little bit of the sneaky nature. Something to take note though, with Lair Tech up and running here for Mr. Chocobutt as well as Spore Crawlers, there is no real way for the DTs to do some big hits onto these middle lines. Since the Phoenix came out, that is pretty much a proper response. And that's why I say, it's better to go for the Adepts, because you're already forcing out the detection to begin with. And in case Hydras are going to be into play as expected, Charge going to be next on the list as well. And here we go with the Forge here for eXoDaSh. He wants to get that +1 very soon for some of his units there. And then double Queens though onto the third base. And Sneaky Peeky goes to these DTs, but they will really get nothing of value unless they get rid of the Spore Crawler as well as the Overseers as quick as can be. Now it's high time for Chocobutt to potentially meet all of that. There we go with a slice and dice action. And though we get the immediate reaction, seems like it's not the case though. In the meantime, finally Overseer gonna be up and running. We are gonna get that movement speed upgrade for the Hydras to allow them to really chase after those Phoenix in to begin with. But as DTs have gone down, I believe, it really is just a little difficult. Slice and dice action yet again. eXoDaSh trying to apply pressure. There we go with the Queens right now. In the middle line, and eXoDaSh very insecure actually. Very insecure push there with the DTs. When he decides to go for that middle line, and he can't really decide. He's going for drones as well, or the Queen with detection in front of him. That's just a big waste, unfortunately, for him. We can go for the Archon later on, but there we go right now with the Graphnod being trying to make a little bit of an opening here, and there's Spore Crawler though doing the DPS it can on one of those Phoenixes. And I really feel like for eXoDaSh, he's losing a lot more than he should. The DTs could have gotten out scot-free if they just backed off earlier on. The Phoenix, if Micro a little better, they could have actually survived with that one. But hey, that's how it is sometimes, and now eXoDaSh is deciding to go for Archons through DTs. So I think for eXoDaSh, this is really where he's kind of making a mistake on decision making. Like, I do like DTs as a unit, but if you're going to be using them to make Archons, I really feel like there's a little bit of a waste. I'd love to see him go for High Templars no matter what. Get that Templar Archive. Psystorm will make a key difference, especially against these Hydras. And I really feel like I've been a little more analytical lately also with how I've been seeing things, understanding a little bit more. But for Nux, Hydras into Lurkers, pretty much a really strong late game composition. We get a big bulk of units down there. Go for High Tech as the Infestation Pit will enable. And of course, those +1 upgrades will make a key difference in the long run. Now, something to note though, that for Nux, he still does not have the Roach Warren, which is pretty interesting. You usually want to get that Roach Warren when you're going for a very ground-based composition with range. When you go for Mass Hydras, that's where you can get punished by something like High Templar in the first place. But that's gonna be the case here. We'll see if Dash can react in time. And in the case though, Chocobutts or Nux deciding to play the Aggression expansion, when you go for the down below one, you are gonna get access to the Rich Vespine Geyser as well, so everything should be fine and dandy there. Ball Larva right now for the hatchery. Here we go again with more and more of these critters. And well, for Mr. Nux, he should be pretty scared into this one. Coming into Hive Tech, really looking to just upgrade on both the Hydras potentially for the +3 later on into this game, as well as that Lurker. You need both the lair and you need the Hive rather after the lair, just to get both of those upgrades, the burrow upgrade as well as that range upgrade. That's actually huge there for the Lurkers to begin with. In any case though, never mind, as everything is just going in favor of Nux right now already. The Lurkers are set up, we see the Hydras in position, and this third base is getting hampered like crazy. High time right here, right now to do all they can and more. And these Archons just have to get on away as quick as can be. eXoDaSh having multiple Archons here and now. And I really understand that this is going to be a pretty good comp if they can get close enough, but the Hydras are doing a lot of damage before these Archons can even get closer. And speaking of getting close, that's what the Lurkers are all about. They are just ready to go with the spines. This is a terrible choke here for eXoDaSh, and he has just to run away and giving up this wall for free. Now it's a full engage here for eXoDaSh. There we go with the revelation as well from the Oracle. But still, the DPS is there. Nux even putting that Changeling in position to really hamper these Archons in their transition. And what a cleanup. Nux will take this first victory. Well deserved after putting his Lurkers to the best use in the best spot. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go again. Oh. Oh. Interesting. But we'll talk about that notice in just a bit. Because introducing first, here on the top left of Nightshade, not LE though. It is our Red Zerg, one map ahead, Chocobutt or Nux. And his opponent, here on the southeast side, it's our Blue Protoss. Trying his best to make those DTs work, unfortunately didn't pan out. But we'll see if he can get some redemption because he has shown some flashes of brilliance. eXoDaSh. So what is this map? This is M Nightshade. And why is there a pylon there? Why is there a pylon there? I don't understand. Okay, so this is different, guys. This is a different map. I think it's a modified version of Nightshade. I don't understand why though. I don't understand what's up with it. I really don't get why there's a pylon there on the east side. So besides that, it seems like everything is in order. I think the rocks are still there. So the diagonal is still open. We got that second base. We got that third on the down low. Really interesting. The only modification here is this one pylon on the east side. So it's not even owned by anyone. So whatever. We'll go with it. In any case, there we go with the 1 gate, 1 core expand from Mr. eXoDaSh. Gonna get a second assimilator after the buildings here, because he did get a little bit onto that gas department earlier on in the first place, so he should have enough for either the Adept, the Stalker, or the Sentry. In the meantime, though, eXoDaSh is just being pesky with this probe doing all he can on the dash department, really chasing after that drone. Well, for Mr. Chocobutt, he has these 2 bases up and running. He has his pool ready to go. He's going for metabolic boost, and everything seems like to be in order here for the Zerg to begin with. And something to take note though, you already have that pillar, that column, that high ground that Chocobutt can gladly take to begin with. In any case, we still see more and more of these drones right now. Hatcher gonna be a third here for Mr. Nux. And really just feels like for Nux, he's very confident over that third. He's not anticipating too much harassment here from eXoDaSh, and he's also anticipating that he's going to be in position for it. Can the Adept make that difference? Can the Adept really punish this one? Seems like it's no, because with Chocobutt ready already in the middle of the map, it just feels like this Adept can't do anything but stay in base. And this is where the Zerg can really come out ahead. Anyway though, we are really getting into more and more of the macro department with this third base up and running very soon. I do like how Chocobutt is going to go for that Carapace upgrade, extra speed to get the scouting. And of course, if eXoDaSh has the tendency to play DT, it's going to be a lot easier to respond to it, to say the least. In any case though, Chrono Boost time onto the Warp Gate research, really wanting to get more and more of those units a lot quicker. And already a Spore Crawler here from Chocobutt. That's pretty early, actually. 3.5 minute mark. He's anticipating a little bit of that Stargate action. Oh, and there you go. Apparently, he is on the mark, rather. The Phoenix is already out and about, going for the Overlord rather than going to the other side of the base. So Chocobutt very on time with his Spore Crawlers. They should be up and running before any kind of harassment happens in the first place. Really, Mr. Nux, even better understanding, better vision, really doing all they can and more to see how everything is gonna unfold there. And we'll be bringing in Mr. Kent after this game, since this is a 5-map affair anyway, and we got Nux right now. Just going for as much of these mineral counts as possible. Still, those 4 crawler are gonna be next on to the third base, and it really feels like here for Nux, he just is so secure of his position that he doesn't even need to go for the army department so far. Going for the Roach Warren now, 3 bases. Roach is gonna be a big tide of units. And all I gotta say here is for eXoDaSh, he has to be ready for it. What is the plan here for the eXoDaSh? He's going for another gate. He's going for a second Stargate, actually. And will this be Mass Phoenix and Adept? Seems like that is gonna be the case. Wouldn't be surprised to go to see the Hydralisk then, and Chocobutt already going into Lair Tech immediately. Quick response with the intel, and that is what the Carapace is all about. Anyway, though, the action still continues. There we go with piles right now being set up yet again. And well, it is high time right here, right now. See how this is all going to be unfolding very, very soon for our two players who are on the macro department. Very, very important right now for Mr. eXoDaSh. And as I'm just trying to charge my phone real quick, you see even more of those units into play. Speaking of units, though, apparently the Phoenixes are already there, and they are just hampering this natural as much as possible. In the meantime, there we go already with the upcoming lair tech hatchery. Gonna be done with that very, very soon. And this is gonna be a high time for Nux to roam on around again. eXoDaSh, though, with all of these adepts set on up. There we go with the Nexus point also go online. And with 3 bases up and running, it is gonna be eXoDaSh trying to take after what Nux is leading into. So when you build a base, I build a base. Nux gonna be doing the same. Seems like really it is all about the macro right now, and it is going to be a huge range army here for Mr. Nux. Roaches and Hydras. Always so good to see onto that ground. But these Phoenixes are getting microed pretty well here by Dash, actually. Doing all they can to get the lifts, doing all they can to get the catches. And we'll see that. Oh, peekaboo. Peekaboo, I see you. Peekaboo, Mr. Roach. You gonna come out or what? Is it even a roach? I think it's like a roach without the carcass, right? Without the shell. Which is pretty interesting why there's a roach without the shell there. It's like a flying Epis basically. Its wings are out. It's kind of disgusting, but we go with it. Does the Hydra then have someone inside? No, it's just alive. It's pulsating, that's for sure. Getting the double upgrade. And the funny thing about Zerg buildings, right, they're alive. They actually are alive. And I wouldn't be surprised, like, in the lore itself, I wouldn't be surprised if buildings have gotten kills on bone marine stuff. So just, like, engulf them with their mass, with their muscles, and eat them, basically, for more biomass to build more units in the future. But as I digress, you know, whatever, that's how it is sometimes. Extractors are there already again. It's a flock of overlords here for Nux. I like that he understands that since there are Phoenixes out in the battlefield, he has to really go for the migration, herd them together as one on a safe side. Now, with the Mass Phoenix, though, from the Protoss, it really is all about the creep tumors right now, getting all the vision they can and more. Because in a scenario like this, Nux will not really have that scouting. eXoDaSh can do whatever he wants. He's taking that map control, but for Mr. Chocobutt, the best answer for him is to just add up those bases, get a bigger lead, get a bigger income, bigger economy, and really try to take it from there. Now it seems like though Nux is looking for a little bit of a different answer. Spire play will be next on the list. Overseer gonna be there as well. And what is the plan here for eXoDaSh? He's sticking on Gateway as well as Stargate Tech. He has the Twilight Council right now, and he's finally going for that charge after everything else. Double Robo is also into play, pumping out those Immortals. Chocobutt right now with the scouting information, though, that he's finally going to be able to receive. And he sees that there are no AoE spells, no Deep Thieves, no High Templar, though, very, very noteworthy. And no Robobay or Fleet Beacon. So with an idea of what tech he's on, I think that for Nux right now, he can just go into safer Corruptors here. The Phoenixes are already there. Really expecting that Dash is gonna stay on these units to begin with. And well, there we go with the Assimilator again up and running. Zealots going back into battle. Robo Facility going for triple Observer for some reason. And I think for eXoDaSh, he's anticipating something like borrowed units, something like maybe Swarmos even, to really be a bother into this one. But of course, with the Phoenixes there, I don't think that Nux will go into it. When you get the Graviton Beam on the Swarmos, it just feels so useless. So instead, what is the plan? Get to 200, get the creep spread on halfway the map, and now finally go for the big clash in the middle. So here comes trouble, here comes the push, and here comes Nux. Cleaning a house on the south side. This is going to be a base race. I really don't think it's a good idea here for eXoDaSh, because he is going to be moving on out to the north, losing this third base. He doesn't have much minerals and gas. He is not on 200. And in a scenario like this, eXoDaSh again making a mistake on the decision making here. He needs to defend this. He needed to be on the high ground there to really try and find ways to deal with these roaches, these ravagers, and these hydras, but with no force whatsoever. It is just gonna be a tidal wave to remember. Just one pylon trying to just say that, oh, you know, I'm part of the group, guys. And I guess M Nightshade means it's modified in a way with that lone pylon out of nowhere. High time though for eXoDaSh to go for the push. This is going to be a base race scenario here and now. And Chocobutt actually deciding to back out instead. Interesting stuff. Nux is going to be looking to defend here. Unfortunately for him, there is still that creep ice to get on through, and these spine crawlers are desperately getting taken down by eXoDaSh to begin with. Buying time, using that minerals to really stall for this defense. Never goes some good force fields, but Vile can actually get tossed to break that one down. eXoDaSh though, I believe, in a better spot, in a better position. He's going to be going to that high ground. Here we go with more and more of these spine crawlers, courtesy of Nux. And he's just trying to build as much as he can on the static defense. And when this goes online, it is going to be game-setting match here. Nux though, gonna get force fielded away, has to drop that pile onto the ground there. Ramp right now, gonna get busted on. And here comes the spines, adding up that DPS, really trying to get the way through to the other side. I just though aren't gonna be enough so far. Force fields have been pretty huge here from eXoDaSh, and it seems like for Nux, he's left a force there onto that main base, and it is gonna be him looking to reinforce his cycles, looking to force in lines, and make sure this Protoss army is stuck on the high ground. Really just goes to show, in a matchup like this, decision making a very, very key difference. And for Nux right now, even though he loses the main base, he loses out on that tech, he has effectively contained the Protoss to this high ground. He is now going to be making sure that he can just be the gatekeeper here, as every other building is getting cleaned up by Mr. Nux. eXoDaSh only has his army right now, and he needs to make sure that he can get on through to the other side, get on through to the low ground, if he wants to stand a chance to get a map back. Everything looking very difficult here for eXoDaSh, but at least he is going to be going for that Ninja Nexus in the middle of the map. He's trying to stay away though from Chocobutt, but he already knows that it's there in the first place. That creep, the mule is even flying on around. It's just not going to pan out. These War Prism is going to be staying here as well. I'd love to see him go from micro though to drop them down onto the low ground as much as possible, but it really is just going to be so difficult. Last ditch effort here now from eXoDaSh. Chocobutt is waiting at the wings. Nexus point has been hampered in the flights of the bats, just doing all the DPS that they can, bouncing around and really getting some damage onto that Nexus. It is this big army versus this big army, and I do feel that eXoDaSh really trying his luck there. But he needed to be on the high ground, he needed to be on the defensive, and with more and more of these Zergs looking to just cascade and collapse on, GG is called. Nux will take that 2-0 lead. Nux again with a bigger army count. Didn't really get the scouting at the very start, but he just went for the macro, went for the bigger army, and safely allowing him to still keep that lead up. eXoDaSh again, not enough harassment whatsoever, trying to play a turtle against someone who can play it even better. And well played there, the Nux taking the 2-0 lead in this 5-map set. Hello, Mr. Kent, and welcome back to this 5-map series between Nux as well as Dash. So I am joined right now by Mr. Good Friend himself, Mr. Kent Timcali, XtinC.
What's up?
Hello, there you go, your mic is working. And we are going to be getting into our third map of the night for this 5-match set, and it is going to be a classic one, World of Sleepers. But introducing first on the southwest side of World of Sleepers, it is our red Zerg Chocobutt, or Nux, and his opponents. On the top right, it's our blue Protoss, eXoDaSh.
World of Sleepers. Man, how long is this match go? When does this match happen?
4.10, I think. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Just three patches ago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It really is pretty interesting, in all honesty. But you know, I think Dash last played 3 patches ago, so that's how it is sometimes when you can't really properly play in the first place. So yeah, we're here. It's really interesting that we got a 5-map series between Nux and Dash. And do you have any history, actually, between these two players in this specific matchup?
I recall when we were practicing at Bren, Dash is actually the one who can get a map win against Chocobutt, or Nux rather. I think I remember him winning one series before, when we were practicing.
Just yoink the victory away, mate.
Yeah, like eXoDash's ZPP is really good. He does a lot. He has a lot of builds. He has a lot of fake things that he will do. Then and it turns out it's this other weird all-in thing, and somehow it works. You know, those crazy builds that doesn't make sense, but it works. It's basically that basically sums up eXoDaSh's game,
And
and it's very very strong.
hybrid composition sometimes, but in any case, we are going to be getting at it again. Gateway Cybercore going to be going online here. Second base is already up and running. World of Sleeper is still very interesting because you can really mine out that mineral field if you want to make that opening, but we don't see it too much. And this is an
The
older
rich
World of
gets
Sleepers.
that's
This is
an older man.
this is an older variant. Rich Vespine on the low ground, aka Zerg OP on this map.
Yeah, this is a very Zerg favorite map. With that, you can actually do some crazy shits about that.
Get the third here, and you just don't look
Yeah.
back. You push, you win. So I'm not gonna be surprised if we do see Nux actually play the Ultra Aggression, but he is gonna be playing it on the more standard style of getting the third here on the high ground before the Rich Vespine. Might be thinking that's still green there, but they're actually playing the older version in this custom. But Sneaky Peeky does it. Roxy's target here from eXoDaSh, and we've seen him actually whip out the Phoenixes not just once but twice. In last game, it was that Mass Phoenix actually trying to get something done. It was really good map control for him, but again, just not enough. What do you say? What there was just not enough pressure. There was just not enough harassment, and you know that just wasn't enough there for Dash to take that win.
Yeah, he invested a lot with that double Stargate, but he didn't actually get the return of investment on the damage side. So it kind of falls apart there for Dash.
That really just is a little unfortunate there, but in any case, we continue on. We will find the Warpgate research up and running very, very soon. Here on World of Sleepers, this is kind of a little harder to wall out. In the first place, you need those two adept sites now set up just to make sure that there is enough of a blockade. And as we said, this is such a Zerg favorite map, and I'm really interested to see what Chocobutt is going to be up to. We're getting that 3 base hatchery again before even deciding to go for the army. And this is his confidence here from Daks. He just understands his opponent immediately, and he knows there's not going to be any harassment coming his way, so he can go for some safe 3 base. But as I say that, apparently, the Proxy Stargate has already gotten the damage done, and the Oracle gets 6 kills out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's no spores. I mean, I think Nux being too greedy at this time with not getting a single safety spore. I mean,
Assumptions.
yeah.
Assumption.
Yeah. I mean, 6 kills is big for an Oracle.
300 minerals down the drain. That's a hatchery right there. Could have gotten the forts. But that is what it's all about. And Nux, one to learn from his lesson very quickly. We'll be going for that triple spore crawler already. Now, we did see him do that before, but he's only getting the scouting information now. And he has to have an idea. Where is that Stargate? It is not in the main base. There is a rover facility there instead. So a proxy must have happened. I can look around for it in the map, but I do need to make sure that my queens are ready and set to defend.
Yeah, he's going for a Roach Warren, and right now I think Dash is gonna go for a 2-base timing attack. He's not getting a 3rd base yet, and it's already 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I do want to see Dash play more of the aggression, but we have seen him stay on the 2 base and play saturation rather than anything else, and apparently, it might be that timing attack you were talking about here, Mr. Kent, because he is going for 4 gates up and running. It has that rover facility, has 2 more, it's around 7 production structures plus the Stargate, that's 8. Pretty standard for your 4-1 ratio on the Protoss, but in any case, +1 gonna be online very soon. And yeah, I do believe you're gonna be right. The timing attack might be in order because he is on a supply block range of 70-70, which kind of hampers his army count, and he is desperate to get pylons instead.
It is a mistake for Dash. He doesn't supposed to get a supply block at this time because this attack is gonna hit pretty hard once you get the right amount of units. And right now, Nux is going for Ravagers. He's going for Roaching Ravagers. He stopped droning up. He doesn't care. He's gonna go for the aggression too.
Yeah, he's gonna be going for the win. He's read his opponent like a book, especially with that Stargate being proxied. And Mr. Kent, what do you think of this army? Is this gonna be enough to bust down this wall as the Immortal is in the front line?
Yeah, I think if you get some sick ball connection, it will be able to good for Nux. But right now, this force fields are really great.
Huge force fields. Catching out the Raptors. That's so big. That is so big, but Artosis pylon right there, Mr. Ed. That's just Dash running out of power immediately. Oh man, some small mistakes here from Dash really costing him a lot of opportunities, I'd say. The supply block, now the missed power. I feel like for Dash, he defended that really well in a way, but you know, every one step forward, two steps back in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of great for Dash, but all those pylons you build for when he gets a fly back with another X1 on the wall. I think that's a little mistake there. Huge mistake for Dash.
In any case, though, it is high time right there to do all they can and more. There's gonna be Chocobutt right now, staying on the west side still. That is just gonna be this poor warp gate, I believe, unpowered. It's looking pretty dim and dark. In any case, though, we'll see right now with more and more of reinforcements here from eXoDaSh. He's trying to get all he can and more. The question is, though, does he have the Twilight Arc, the Twilight Council in behind? He does not whatsoever. So he's staying on these Planestalkers. He's going for Immortals, and this is still Nux blinding on the pressure even more so onto the wall with all of these units hanging on in behind.
Yeah, I think as of right now, Dash needs to survive. Like, his army is gonna get better and better as long as his Immortals come. And with the Spire tech, even though Nox getting the Spire, his economy is not that great. He can't afford that supermass Muta switch that you see often to Nox because at that he does it with 70, 80 drones. Right now he's only on 58, 7 rather, 56. What the fuck?
I mean, he's building. He's building a lot of things here, Mr. Kent. That's holy mother of spine crawlers, and I do like how Nuxer realized that he couldn't really finish things off as soon as the force fields were absolutely huge. So he decided to go for the drone on in behind instead. He also scared Dash in a way from actually pushing out with the cascade of units, and now he is anticipating a pretty good push here from the spine crawlers. It's like you said, he's unable to get that big Muta ball. He's gonna be using those minerals instead to get some spines. So what do you think? Who might have the edge coming into this one? I feel like even though Nux didn't really get that killing blow, he still has a pretty good lead here, but he just doesn't have the armor count right now. He needs to be very, very careful coming into this one.
Yeah, I think it depends on the Ravager bounce and the Mira Micro. I mean, right now Dash's army is better. As long as you won't be able to surround, like what's happening right now, not trying to surround. But as of right now, these stalkers are killing these mutas, and I think it is too much for Nux.
It might be game here. It might be Dash actually taking a map, because this is going to be high time for the Protoss to actually push on forward, and GG is called! Dash actually winning a game! What do you say? What is this miracle happening on stream? Dash with a victory against Nux there, and was just that push a little too much to handle. Force field game strong from the Protoss.
Yeah, move over Nux. There's a new Protoss in town.
What do you mean? Nux is Zerg, how does that work? But anyway, guys, we'll be right back. We'll be getting no, we'll be going into game 4. You can fix yourself there. So here we go, guys. Game number 4. Apparently, this might actually be a real best of 5 rather than just a 5-match set. And impressive work so far between our two players. But introducing first the man in the lead in this friendly match set. It is gonna be the Red Zerg on the southeast side, Chocobutt or Nux. Take it away though, Kent. Introduce your friend, your pal, your buddy on that other side.
Thank you. On the top left corner, he needs to win 3 more games to take this series. The Blue Protoss.
Two lang naman. Editors note, 2 lang.
Oh, two. Sorry. 2 more. He needs to win 2 more games to win the series. Give it up for eXoDaSh.
We should have like a, you know, that parang Pizza Hut sound or something. Whooshing. You get that whooshing sound.
That's the whoosh sound every time you...
eXoDaSh.whoosh. But very impressively done there by Dash last game, and our force fields for real, Mr. XtinC. Is that what we have learned in World of Sleepers?
Yeah, force fields are OP on the early game, basically. I mean, it gives you so much value. If you stack it up pretty well, you can actually destroy armies, cut them in half, or misplace your opponent's units, and it's just a very useful skill.
It really is. Force field, just such a good map controller in a way. It controls the map, it controls the clashes, it just gets in the way in so many ways, and really effective force field usage really makes a key difference for the Century to begin with. In any case though, it is going to be time right now to see what is going on between our two players, and we do have eXoDaSh and Chocobutt looking to just work against each other as the hatchery is going online. Dash gonna be going for that Nexus again with a 1 gate 1 court, and it really feels like it's a standard day of the office between our two players.
Yeah, I wonder what line of tech is Dash gonna do here right now. I mean, he, on 4 games he went for Stargate, right?
Yeah,
And yes, another Stargate. On
three.
fifth game, fourth game, another Stargate.
So it's just another Stargate. What do you think though? Why is Dash going Stargate every single time? What are the things that they can whip out because of this?
Uh, Basically, Stargate is the most, let's say, safest build you can build. Safest tech choice you can build as a Protoss against Zerg. Because when you go for Twilight and Probo, it usually means aggression. And going for Stargate means you want to have a little bit more economical advantage. You want to be more defensive with those oracles. And yeah, it depends on your tech choice over there.
It really is. But there we
Basically,
go. Go
basically,
ahead.
basically, you can probe up real quick when you go Stargate.
Really is, and it just allows you to go for harassment, and it really is just all about looking to make yourself look a little better, and maybe play the out base against a race like Zerg.
Yeah, and it can defend rushes pretty easily. I mean, if your opponent goes for a Ling Rush, you can get Oracle. If it goes for Roaches, you can get the Void Ray. And with Chronobus, you can get this units really quickly.
Yeah, it really is. And here we go though with more and more units. Hatchery right now for Nux. It's a little later on the third actually here for Mr. Nux, because he did go a little bit more on to the scouting to begin with. And here's Simulacrum staying on the high ground. 3 bases are very secure in so many ways.
And Product Council here is next for that. So, are we gonna see a Phoenix Adapt Rush?
Might be. I mean, I'm always looking at that. I'm trying to see if Dash is actually gonna go for it, but I haven't really seen him commit onto that specific composition. It really is all about just Phoenix and then go what? Stalker, Immortal. It really is all about comfort there. There we go. The Wind Chocobutt learning from his mistakes, already going for that triple spore crawler no matter what. And he did see, of course, those Phoenixes just roaming around, trying to really give chase to the Overlords. And it seems like it's finally time. We are gonna get it, ladies and gentlemen. We are gonna get resonating blades here from the Adepts. Ooh. Static. Oh my god. Yikes. No, I can't. Anyway. No. That is just static again. Sad. So it seems like Mr. Kent can have some issues there. Really apologize about that again. And yep, more and more of these buildings right now. Roach War going to be into play. Ewood Shaper is there as well. And we are going to get that Extractor Lair Tech online also for Chocobutt in just a bit. But it feels like here for Nux, he's kind of lagging behind on, well, a number of things actually. What has been the story here for Nux?
Yeah, I think this guy, he's trying to over defend. I think he might be thinking there's another all-in build, but basically it's just gonna be a pressure build for Dash. I mean, getting those glaives and then getting your third right away is just a safe build, and safe build that can make your opponents overreact.
Really is, especially the depths. When you just can't get in position against them, it really just falls apart sometimes. And speaking of Dash right now, he's gonna be dashing on in. Here comes the depths already, looking to get in position. Roach was pretty good in a pretty straightforward matchup, but it really depends on how the micro works. And if you are able to get a shade play at the best way possible, you are just gonna be able to get on the way again and again and again. The Phoenixes right now, they're going for the Overlord. Then it's gonna be high time for the Graviton Beam to potentially get the catch on. And just a run on by there. And that was what the Adept is all about here by this point. Running into every single base, bothering them as much as possible, and if you can save them, it is going to be even better and better coming into this match.
Yeah, that's a huge damage, and he's supply block. Looks is a supply block right now. There's a very good attack here for eXoDaSh.
Yeah, it's really all about the pressure of the Phoenix Adept push. It is so annoying because you are gonna get supply block. You're not gonna be able to outnumber your opponent. You're not gonna be You're gonna be unable rather to have defensive fortifications that are set permanently. And that's what it is all about. Pressure being applied. It is a slow but sure death, and it really just is a starvation method, not only on the supply account but also on the minerals when the Adepts do come and play.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you when Protoss goes this type of build, sometimes Zerg can actually underestimate it. Like they make sometimes make less units, or sometimes they make over make units, and it just puts them behind. And when the Protoss does damage on any of those scenarios, it's just a huge blow for Zerg.
It really is, but hey, eXoDaSh right now gonna be sticking on around again. Assimilators are gonna be going online very soon here for our Protoss, and well, for Nux, it feels like it's a lot more subtle for him. This is one of those games where I feel we're not really feeling the impact, the looming threat that is Nux so far. It feels like everything is going good here for eXoDaSh. Another supply block gonna be into play. Worker lead here for Dash. Chocobutt now narrowly taking it away, but 3 base versus 3 base in a Protoss versus Zerg. I don't like the odds here for Nux right now.
Nox is also getting 1K minerals, so he's slipping his macro a bit there. So it depends on Dash on how he will capitalize this huge lead he has.
I'd say so. Like, for Chocobutt, he is trying to get that Hydro Tech online. He's going for a little bit more of those upgrades, and he does have +1 going online. But still, with the adepts in a proper spot, it'll make a key difference, and I do like the Templar Archives choice. High temps gonna be very interesting, especially against ground-based compositions. Those Hydras are gonna get torn asunder by the storms. And for eXoDaSh right now, it's a pretty solid comp. He's actually even going for Colossus Tech alongside this. Now, this might be a little greedy, but since he's feeling really confident, 3 base versus 3 base in the lead right here, right now on that worker count, he can actually splurge on 2 different techs at the same time.
I think he's gonna go for a time attack here on +2. I mean, with I think 3 to 4 Colossus with +2. If he's gonna get +2 here, if he even gonna get +2.
I think it's more gonna be looking to really add things up. There you go with the +2 though, as you've said. And the Hydra Den right now going for that range upgrades as soon as possible. Roaches and Ravagers still gonna be into play again. And I do like how Mr. Nux is clearing up the debris before anything else. If he gets caught here, especially if the high temp are online and do get Side Storm, that'll make a key difference. But it might be a big push courtesy of Chocobutt. He's gonna go for the south side attack on the east. We still have Dash. There we go, the high temp hanging on in behind, but I don't think there is Storm ready to go as of yet. Argon right now gonna go warped in instead. Here we go to the single force field. Not really the best position. Baldo gonna get avoided. Never mind, it gets rid of the stalker there. And oh my god, eXoDaSh unable to really cascade on in the proper spot. There we go with the force fields cutting off the approach into 2. Gonna be a good chance here for the Protoss to do all they can. But now it's Nux right now pushing forward. Can Dash hold? That's gonna be the real question. Colossus will go down. Graviton beam right now to get the catch on. And Dash is losing out on the units. But there we go with the warp cycle yet again. Chocobutt is trying to go for the push. He's run out of the forces after the warp cycle. And Dash will survive there. It looked a little dicey, but when he was able to half out that army, that is where the difference really happened.
Yeah, this is good for the MVP. There was the Warp Prism. The Warp Prism Michael with Immortals actually buy him extra damage and extra time to be able to gather his units and stay alive in this game. And going for a Roach drop here onto the main.
You know what's interesting though? Dash is getting a second roll bait just for kicks.
Yeah, I don't know what
probably a miscrit. I think he was gonna press BB, but he pressed BB instead. So instead of a shield battery, he went for the Bay unfortunately. But if this looks good here, you know, if Chocobutt decides to go for the Robo Bay, he won't really be bad because he's going for a second one anyway. It's not gonna hurt him in the long run. There you go though with the balance getting hampered. Strategic recall to try and get the catch on. Colossus is gonna be coming on through yet again to get the cook up. And there you go with this hero warp person trying to come on through. +2 though gonna be online very soon. This one Colossus actually survives. And in the natural right now, there we go with the wall getting broken down by Chocobutt. And it is gonna be a 2-prong attack, but it's still clean up through my name. It's eXoDaSh, and I feel like for Nux he is seeing the writing on the wall because it's some really good defenses here for the Protoss, and he can just keep on keeping on with this setup.
I think this is time for Dash to attack. I mean, once he defended this attack, he's gonna go for one big push. He has +2. He has the upgrade advantage. He has the tech advantage, and he has the economy advantage. So it's everything good for Dash from here on out.
Roaches kind of looking a little laggy behind, that's for sure. In any case, though, here we go with more and more from eXoDaSh, finally going for the long march, and Chocobutt again supply blocked. It really is so difficult right now for Mr. Nux, and it's a stark difference, because last time we saw a lot of Phoenixes on Nightshade, it was just very smartly done by Nux to put them all in the natural. Never go though with the main base getting hampered, but I feel like by this point, eXoDaSh doesn't care. It is going to be a make or break moment, and this has to be perfect execution here from the Protoss so far. On to the fourth base we go already. Force fields are going to be there. It's time for the cleanup crew, courtesy of these ground forces, and the death ball really putting its name on to the corner. But eXoDaSh actually losing out the Colossus, looking a little dicey, but as the Warp Prison bringing in the reinforcements, and I think this is going to be game if there is no stopping point to this push.
Yeah, where's the army? Where's Chocobutt's army? It's nowhere to be seen. There's no units.
They're still in the eggs, mate. They're still trying to hatch, but I think it might be little too late. Here we go again with Dash marching on forward, doing all he can, cooking up this Evo chamber. This is gonna hurt Nux so badly, and eXoDaSh is doing it, looking to tie things up 2-2, and what a series it has been so far. We got some highs, we got some lows, but right now we are seeing eXoDaSh look for a reverse sweep.
It's happening.
Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? We'll find out in game number 5. Stay tuned, guys. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and oh my. How did this happen here, Kent? How did this actually turn out from a 2-0 to a 2-2? We are back and we are in game number 5 in this close Protoss versus Zerg matchup. Take it away though, XtinC. Who do we got into this match?
Alright, on the top right corner, the red Zerg. He needs to win this to be able to prevent the reverse sweep. It's our very own Chocobutt, aka Nux.
Yes, sir. And here on the side, on the southwest, who is it?
On the bottom left side, he needs one more game to be able to win this series and get the biggest upset of SCPH history of all time. We have the OP Protoss eXoDaSh.
Is this the biggest upset of all time? You know, the biggest upset has to be Ender versus anyone else that isn't Nux. Okay, that's the biggest upset of all time. This is gonna be a good one though.
But it doesn't it won't happen like anytime soon yet.
It will not
right
happen.
now. Yeah, I mean it can happen, but not yet. As of right now, this might be the biggest upset of all time.
Maybe in recent history and the SC2 local scene here in the Philippines, but for Nux, he lost out twice on the third map. It was just an unfortunate circumstance, losing out, especially if they're huge force. But on that fort, it felt like maybe a little fatigue there. It wasn't as sharp as we'd usually expect there from Nux, and it really felt like it was more passive play from him. He had the motion set and ready, he had everything good to go, but it just felt like for eXoDaSh, he was doing everything right, having all the numbers in his favor, even getting the lead with the Adepts and the Phoenix. And now, it is just a 2-win streak there for Dash, and he's looking for a third victory coming into this one here on ZenLE.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? Like, on my mind, I was like, Nux compete in the I'll Die, right?
Mm-hmm.
And most of his incredible wins are versus Protosses. I wonder if those Protoss players on the I'll Die watch this stream right now and say, who the fuck is this no-name Protoss who's beating Nux on a reverse sweep on Noxus Prime? What the hell?
You guys heard that? Clip that, please. Send it to Mr. Rael. No name Protoss confirmed by Mr. XtinC himself. So, let's go back to the game.
No.
Let's go to the game. Shut up, we're going to the game because these are Zerglings right now trying to get rid of the pylon here. The Adept will give chase. It is going to be very close though, but Twin Adepts right now going to be enough DPS. Okay, so you can go back to your complaining as the Zerglings do get cleaned up.
Yeah, what I mean, I am talking as if I am a pro Protoss from the other country. I'm not talking as I'm XtinC. I'm talking as like I'm other Protoss from the other country who Nox beat on I'll Die.
I'm not really very good at these impressions, mate. But hey, we are gonna see Dash though. Dash on in with these adepts. He's been improving steadily actually on the adept micro. And earlier on Simulacrum, he did such a good job putting on the hamper onto both natural as well as the third. Here we go though with the adept right now, trying to get on away. One adept will go down. Good turnaround there from Nux. And now with that speed advantage, gonna be giving chase to get this takedown. Metabolic boost is online. And this time there is no mercy. Chocobutt has whipped it out, has a swarm of Zerglings, and this is the Nux experience that I have signed up for.
Yeah, like he doesn't care. He wants to end this game right away. There's a lot of links, but is he be able to defend? Yeah, it's a proper wall.
Yeah, wall is set up, Immortal is there as well, even though it's not the best unit against Lings, at least
It's a robo.
exists. The robo facility is set up, not no robo bay whatsoever, he's not going to be going straight in that tech. Instead, it might be that double Immortal drop here from Dash, which is pretty classic. And it is a good standard for any Protoss, because you can really put a hamper onto anything. Workers, buildings, whatever. Oh, okay, cancel. Interesting, there from Dash.
Yeah, I mean, with that not amount of links, this is actually good for eXoDaSh because instead of those larvae being drones, it went into links which those links aren't being able to do some damage over to the Protoss side.
Hey, but
So
you know,
I like
twofold thing, mate. Twofold thing. It really feels like for Nux, he's using those links to contain. And this is where I feel like eXoDash's game kinda goes a little wonky. When he's getting contained, he likes to stay on that 2 base. He likes to
yeah,
turtle up. And if he is
yeah,
just
like
gonna get outrun by Chocobutt, even though, like you said, those links turned into, those lava rather turned into links, now it's still Nux with the lead on the worker count, and I expect him to get even more so into the future after this Roach cycle.
yeah, but look at it. I think he's building a lot of gates right now, so I think this is gonna be a timing attack here for Dash. He doesn't care. He sends blood on the water, and with 2, 4, 6 sentries on already here with energy, I think there's gonna be an attack. This is a fake turn.
Yeah, he's gonna be
This is a
looking.
fake turn.
Nah, this is a real third. This is a real third. This is a
No,
real
this is
third.
a
No, this
this
is
is
a
a
real
fake
third.
turn.
No,
It's a fake one.
no, this is a real third. I'm telling you right now. Dash is gonna go for this third. I already understand how his play is gonna go. No cancels, no nothing. He's spending that minerals there, and he's just getting gateways for at least reinforcements against his upcoming push. Now, I do feel like this is very dangerous though, XtinC, because these sentries are out in the open, and there we go with the Zerg starting to get us around. One sentry will go down, looking for a second one as well, and that is just Dash caught napping. Free picks there from the Ling push.
Yeah, I don't know why those sentries are out there on the open. It's like, come on, Nooks, attack these sentries here.
Absolute freebies. And there you go, finally with the
I
cancel.
called it.
Oh
I
my
called it.
god. Big
I called it.
brain. Big brain. Finally gonna be set instead. I really thought he was gonna stick it after allowing it to get through that far. But as you said, I guess I was wrong. That's why I'm not the pro player there, and that's why you are here to call things out. Stalker's gonna be into play Immortals. There we go with the sentries. But you know, I still feel that the sentries being given for free.
Yeah, I mean
It's
that's
like,
that's a huge um blow here for the army of eXoDaSh, but it's still a strong army.
yeah, this is
Still
pretty
four
good.
sentries with stalkers and 2 immortals.
The trickery might have worked there, because Chocobutt just doesn't have enough to actually defend this. Here we go with Roaches right now, but eXoDaSh with a pretty big pull. Oh my god, there we go with the force fields again.
Oh my!
And it really
Is
just...
he gonna win?
Oh my god, he's done it! GG! eXoDaSh wins out the series! Wow! The argument
It's not a
turns into the
sweep.
victory!
It's a power
Third
sweep.
base fake. You saw it there first, guys. So, okay, before we end this, Mr. XtinC, what are the steps for the 3 base fake?
Basically, he has like 6 sentries, and getting those sentries early on, it really means you're going to attack. I mean, you don't really get those sentries early on just for defense. It's too much gas. It's better to invest in something else. And with those 6 sentries plus the Nexus, I think he didn't really account for the cancel. But I maybe it's because I know Dash more than Nux, I guess. I think that's one factor. But like yeah, if I see 6 sentries and you're suddenly making a Nexus, I won't believe that it's gonna be a macro game.
That's actually a pretty good point. And what else were the factors? I saw those gateways actually get chrono boost, but he built a number of gateways, and when you
Yeah,
usually see multiple gateways, that is gonna be a potential timing. It was really a
yeah,
little risky though. If you go for that Nexus and the gateway, sometimes you might actually get caught out in a way. And if only Nux had more units, right, into that push, especially against the sentries, it could have been a completely different verdict.
yeah. I mean, I think after he saw the Nexus, he went straight to 66 drones, as you can see here right now. And once those larva has turned into drones, he doesn't have enough larva to make units right now. And with double immortal with six fourth six sentries and couple of stalkers and zealots, it's gonna be a huge attack. You can't defend it with just simple roach laying. You need extra ravagers, you need more roaches, and you need transfuse for queens.
Yeah, it really is. It's just so difficult in those scenarios. That lower tier of tech hurting Nux in the long run, and Dash winning out the series 3-2. I can't believe it myself. What a match it has been. What a showdown. And all I gotta say here, Mr. Kent, is when will we get Dash back? The Slayer of Nux, apparently. But I feel like when
Yeah,
it's a tournament, it's gonna be a whole different shebang. Thank you for tuning on to this one, guys. This is gonna be a long one because it's 5 different games all together. But we'll see you guys in the next parts of the SCPH replay casting session.